What's going on YouTube? Welcome to another Aviator 268 live stream here on the channel. We apologize for the delay. We had some technical difficulties where GSX was not starting, and of course GSX is bugging out even right now, because once we release these stairs, we're probably going to see them going back onto the belly of the airplane. But it's all right, we're just going to pretend they're not there. But we are live now, and we are going to deliver this beautiful A350 to Iberia in Madrid, Spain. If there's anybody who speaks Spanish, we want to say bienvenido a este canal. Vamos a entregar este avión a Madrid. I'll get back to more Spanish shortly. But welcome guys. So sorry to be late this evening, but we are going to go ahead and get this aircraft well started out. UZN5906, welcome to the channel, my brother. And for right now, I'm doing pretty good. Just want to make sure we get this thing started, so we're going to jump right into it and get set up. We start with the battery 1, and then we do battery emergency 1, then battery 2, battery emergency 2, and then because we have the external powers, we'll start 1 and 2. Then the aircraft starts up. Today's going to be a pretty short flight, heading over to Madrid, and so we are gonna get well set up, kind of do things a bit quick just to get everything set for the flight. We will be using we're gonna have only 57 people on board, and these 57 people are going to be people from the management team of Iberia, taking their new A350 home this evening. Well, it's going to be evening, but I've actually done this. I don't usually do this. I usually fly real time. However, why not start, deliver the flight during the daytime so everybody could see what's going on. So here we are in the daytime. It is currently 8:06 in my neck of the woods. And so we just made it 12 hours later, so we are in... What happened to my music? What happened? Okay, we gotta reset that. Everything is going crazy today. That's crazy. Everything is just going crazy. All right, there we go. Yeah, so we're gonna be flying in the daytime, so it's now gonna be 8:06 a.m. over in Toulouse. So that's why we are flying with this right now. You give me an opportunity to see the airplane as we fly it back to Madrid. Well, not back to, but fly it to Madrid as a delivery flight for the A350. All right, so let's jump back into the airplane. And we're gonna start by turning on the IRS, let those get started out. Crew supply will go on, ground control will go on, and we're gonna turn this to Captain and Purser. And let's check the fire test. Fire test looks good. Leave the fuel on, fuel off until we finish that. Lights are looking good. Let's turn on the no smoking, no mobile, and the emergency light. So no smoking and no mobile will go to auto, and we'll leave the seatbelt signs off until we are done. All right, Airbus likes to do a lights out policy, so everything else looks good, so we leave that as it is. And let's go down to the EFB. We've already imported the information via our flight ops station, so that's there. And then we have our load sheet, so we're going to sim brief import. And like I said, we only have 57 people on board, and because it's a very short flight, we can set the fuel, and we also set the zero fuel weight as well. For some strange reason, I don't think when you do it, well, we set it both zero fuel weight and the fuel right here. Let's see. So this is it, right? Okay, good. So we set it in the AFP so it actually gives us the zero fuel weight CFGs that we want. And then once we use GSX to sort out the other part, then it's gonna reset to 0. So we're gonna go ahead and get that started right now. Let's wait just for a moment. Since it's just 57 people, we will delay that for a minute. We're just gonna get the ADIRs to start out so that we can get the flight plan started before we get that on the way. All right, so let's look at the terminal charts, get those up as well. LFBO. I don't know if I remember saying this, but we had an update version 1.0.1, and I remember in the first fight that we did with Delta, this whole screen was not working. We had the en route screen partially, and then the terminal charts was not working. It just didn't make any sense. So one of my friends would have said that it's only for the 2024 guys, but then they did an update and this now works. So we're able to get both the en route and the terminal charts. So let's go ahead and get those up and set up while we wait. So we're gonna be looking for the airport chart, and in this case it's going to be 10 dash, let's see, is it 10-9? Yes, 10-9. So we pin that, and we also want the departure, so we're going to click departure, and this flight we're doing, let's see here, this flight is the Goddess 7 Alpha. So let's get that one up as well. There we go. And in the event that we need to come back around, we're going to be departing off of runway 14 right. So we get 14 right, since that's the longest runway as well. We're pretty light nonetheless, so it shouldn't be a big issue, but we're just going to have the ILS chart available should we have to do a return for whatever reason. So let's see, 14 right. There we go. That says final approach, so that's fine. All right, let's look at the pin charts. So that's the airport chart. This is the departure chart, and this is the arrival chart. So we are good to go. All right, great. So let's see how much time we have left. We have 4 minutes left on the alignment. While we do that, let's go ahead now. So we double check to make sure that we have the correct active database. And so we have 20 February to 20 March. It is March 6th. So we're good. And so clear that out. And then we can go to active and go to init. And then we're going to, because we're using SimBrief and have that everything in already from SimBrief to do the pre-planning, we're going to go ahead and click company request. And now that that is ready, company received it, insert it, and then it auto populates everything that we need. So we're doing IBEria937 or 9735 from Toulouse to Madrid, and our flight level is 310, and costiness is 50. We have a headwind of, based on that, is headwind of 12, and that's looking good. And so that's fine. Next thing is the departure. On the right side, let's get some data in. So let's see, let's go to ATC com. I'm not even online yet. That's crazy. Let's go IBE9735. I thought we were gonna have anybody online, but we never know. A359, and we have DG CL as our cool. So I don't think there's anybody online right now. Let's double check the radar. Yeah, settled. While we wait on that, we're gonna go over to the ATIS and we're gonna send a request for the departure from LFBO, so we can have that information up, and that would help us to ensure that we are gonna be on the correct departure. So winds 130 at 16. So that means that our departure is going to be runway 14 right, as we initially had, and our SID is going to be the Garda 7 Alpha. And so we do temporary flight import, and then we insert that. Still waiting on the system to come up here, so we'll wait for that before we can check it through. And the QNH is 1016, so we set that here, and that's already set on the right side. We already have it set so it syncs automatically, so that's set. And we just give ourselves 4,000 feet as the initial altitude, but we'll check that with the departure as we go through that. All right, need to open this other door, so let's go to ground, and we're going to open that door as well. There we go. So all the doors are open, L1, L2, and L4. So that's fine. Okay, so let's see, 1 minute to go. We can go to LEMD and let's check that as well. So request that on the right side as well. Winds calm, and the initial runway that we had was 32 right. So let's look at the chart. And we look for airport, and this is 10-9 is what we're looking for. Let's see. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Here we go, 10-9. So we will star that. And for the arrival, we're using the Aduxo, is it 2 Delta? The Aduxo 2 Delta, yes. So this will be our chart. And the approach is going to be, let's see, let's look at the airport chart initially. So the airport chart is runway 32 right. Yep. So we'll take the approach runway 32 right, the ILS 32 right, 32 right, there we go. ILS Zulu 32 right, pin that, and let's look at our pins. So we have the approach in and the arrival in. Great. So it is runway 32 right, which that's already set, via the approach, which is the ILS Zulu 32 right. And that is going to be via, I believe will be Ruby. I prefer to double check that on the chart, the Navigator chart that's on the right side. That's on the other screen for me. So let me just double check that. 32 right. And it's via, yes, so it's via Rugby. And the star we're using is the Aduxo 2 Delta. Temporary flight plan, and let's insert that. And now that we have our system well aligned, we can now check via the plan, and we can scroll through, and we make sure that we have no discontinuities, and that looks perfect. So we know that that is set. Fantastic. Let's get the zoom on the flight plan mode available. Great. All right, so now that we have this set, we can then begin the boarding process. All right, now we can clear that, clear that, clear that, and let's go to back to init, and we can go to our perf. 030 weight for our flight today is 145.9. That's 145.9. 145.9. Enter. Then it goes over to the next one, and that 030 weight is 26.79 or 26.8. So 26.8. We hit enter. Our block fuel is going to be 11 tons, so that's 11.1. 11.1, and we hit enter. Number of passengers is 57, and we hit enter, and so it auto populates. So we hit the flight. The trip time is 36 minutes, and it's getting the winds and all that thing sorted out. So that should be ready shortly. Let's get the wind in. So let's return. Let's get the wind requested. Receive wind, insert, and let's go back to our fuel load. And the minimum fuel is 5.3. Okay. And so we have our route reserves, all that stuff. Okay, great. So that's sorted. I want to change this to 5. That way we get this amber light off. Great. Okay, cool. So that's set. So let's go ahead and start GSX boarding now, and let's see that all of these are going to change to 0. So let's go GSX boarding. Right. So everything changes to 0. So it does its boarding business. And you see the flight attendant just entered a while ago. And we're going to open up the
passenger's bus is coming.
Cargo area. Great. So that's going to do its thing. Let's go ahead and finish up that. So return, and we're going to take off performance. And so we're going to come across here to the takeoff performance, and we're going to sync the FMS, which gives us the airport, the runway. It's going to give us takeoff run available, takeoff distance that's there. And then we will sync the conditions as well. So wind 130 at 1612, temperature QNH 1016. It's dry, no ice required, no anti-ice is required, and the takeoff weight is 164 tons. 1+F, air conditions will be on, and it'll be a flex departure, and we click compute. Once we compute, we get 144, 148, 152. We send to the FMS, and we simply confirm the speeds, and that's it. Flex temp is 67. We see that here. And so our takeoff is all set. So we're good to go.
Locking gear.
Great. So that's set, and we are just about ready to push. Now that we have our fuel, let's see. Let's make sure our fuel is on board. Hey, what's going on, Matthew? Good to see you. It's been a while. You've been out, bro. All right. I didn't do this. First, I should have done GSX. Let's do the fuel. And then the fuel is going to ask me to do, what is it? Right now we have 24,000 pounds on board, based on what is on the load sheet. But on the airplane, we have 24,000. So we're going to see if we can get that to the correct amount, which is 11.1. And so once the, I hope we're not have to wait on them, you know. We might have to wait. We might have to. Since you already started the boarding process, we may have to wait for the, we may have to wait for that to be done. All right, no worries. So here we have all the executives coming onto the airplane. It's supposed to only be 57 of them, but it looks like more than that. I don't know who else they brought on board, but we'll leave that as it is. Was just looking at another stream that MSFS is having right now, where he's showcasing the new update for the 2024 version. And of course, he made a statement saying that he prefers the 2020. But again, the biggest thing about the A350 in 2024 is that the aircraft was originally built in 2024. So it shines a lot more than it would in 2020. But we're grateful that we're able to have a sophisticated, or should we say a high fidelity A350 over in Microsoft 2020. So we're grateful that they've decided to do that, so that we can have a good A350 in the sim. All right, so let's see if the boarding is completed. Let's see if they're going to bring the fuel. We may have to request it again. Let's see. Oh no, we don't have to. The issue, yeah, it's right. So refuel truck is on his way now. The reason why is because we still have the cargo loader there, so it's not going to come before that's done. All right, great. So we are almost good to go. Once the fuel is complete, we then start the APU and get on the way. Don't crash now. And if you want to, this is the Toulouse scenery that we are flying out of right now.
Fuel truck is in position.
Great. Fuel truck is in position. It's going to ask me what I want to put in. And then we will have the option of putting in the exact one from SimBrief. So I think that's the best way to do it, guys. So if you're flying the A350, you click on the two buttons there, the load the fuel and load the zero fuel weight. And then if you're using GSX, you will be able to get GSX to sort it out. So here it is, block fuel from GSX. So we get that to line up. Is what could have caused this? Just so? Oh, fuel complete and we ain't get that yet. All right, set the fuel. Okay, there we go. So the fuel is in. All right, fine. All right, cool. So that's done. We can go ahead and close some doors. So we're gonna close the rear door and we're gonna close the L2 door. And then we'll leave the L1 door until we're just about done. Right. So let's run some checklists. But before start checklist, but before that, let's go upstairs and turn on the fuel pumps. And we'll turn on the APU as well. Seatbelt signs can come on. Now that refueling is done. There is nobody online still. I do have one of my... So there's another delivery flight going on. That's this Airbus right here. I would have done the 350-1000 to London, but I chose to go south. So probably we might do another delivery flight, and this would be, so this is the 900 version. And we'll probably do a 1000 version. So that flight is going to London while we head southbound to Madrid. APU starting up. Once the APU started, we'll go to the APU bleed and then we will start that out. Okay, so let's run the checklist real quick. And so the gear pins and covers are removed. Fuel quantity is checked. Takeoff date is set and bar reference is 1016 and that's checked. And that is up to the line. So we're gonna talk to the flight attendant and be like, yep, we're all ready to go. So close the door. And so we have that closed and locked, if it would do the lock-in. Oh, wait, close and lock. Let's go change the arrow downwards. There we go, close and lock. And so the doors are closed, the parking brake is set, and let's turn the beacon light on. Beacon light's on, so that gets rid of the GPU. And we can go ahead and close these doors and let GSX know we're ready to go. Let's go to 122.8 and we'll turn on our radios, do a radio check after we swap it out. Toulouse traffic radio check. Do nose right. Thank you, sir. That's you in the A350, yes?
Yes.
Roger, roger. We're thinking about doing that flight, but we're heading south to Madrid, so we're both delivering today. All right, so let's see where these are gonna go. So that's just taking off my whole wing cowling, whole engine. Yeah, so yeah, pay no mind to these guys. This is probably not efficiently done in terms of the particular gate, so we'll just ignore that for the time being, pretend that never existed. All right, so the checklist is complete, so we can close that. Once it's green, it's good. Blue means that we have to do something. All right, we can put constraints on. Okay, let's check one thing real quick. So our departure briefing is not done, so let's go to LFBO and let's look at the pin charts. And so we're going to be pushing back and make a right to join Sierra 90, the Whiskey 90 to Sierra 11, take off runway 14 right. And we're doing so via the God 7 Alpha. Top climb is 7,000. And so we take off and make a right and go towards Bravo Oscar 144. Then to, is that 852, and then to God up to flight level 200. Then we climb to flight level 3104 for our flight today, and our transient altitude is 5,000. We've already checked the weather. Weather currently right now is 130 at 16, and cab okay. Temperature 12, QNH 1016. No threats in the area at the moment, so we are good to go. Straight out departure to this first waypoint, and we make the right and follow on. Stand by, sir. And then if we need to return, then we have the ILS 03 correction. We have the ILS 14 right arrival. We just made a right turn and come back down to land, maintain 3,000 feet at or below. So on rollout, anything between 0 and 80 knots, we will stop for anything that will cause the craft to be unflyable. Between 80 knots and V1, we stop for only any engine fire warning on the ECAM, and above V1 we will continue to climb 3,000 feet, and we will then assess the situation. All right, so that's our briefing completed. We can now set our traffic to ID, and we are ready for push. So parking brake is released. Oh, wait a minute. I did not start my A cars. There we go. So that's set. And everything else is set. Good. So release the parking brakes. Oh, we're moving and there's parking brakes already. Wow. All right. To this traffic, the Iberia 9735. Push and start. Yeah. So we're having some crazy things going on right here. But that's okay. We're still good to go. All right, start sequence is 2 then 1, or let's do 1 then 2. So start switch to ignition start, and we start engine number 1. And we will monitor on the upper ECAN. Oh yeah, nothing is gonna happen because we don't have the engine bleed on. Engine bleed is now on. Start switch to start, and here we go. Starting engine number 1. There we go. So we have engine turning. All right, start valve is closed, and we have fuel flow, and EGT is rising. Just monitor to make sure it doesn't go into the red, and we're good to go. And we're waiting for the avail sign. There we go. Engine 2. Oh, he's going to 1-4 left. We're going to head over to 1-4 right. We ain't doing all that.
Set parking brakes.
Parking brake is set. We have EGT. And we are avail.
Unlocking gear.
Roger. And let's do our after start close. Make sure that we have our 27.2.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Roger. So we can now do our
Left is clear. Right is clear.
checks, flight control checks. Rudder left, rudder right. And then while we're here, we're now gonna do sit to the left and to the right. Fully back, fully forward, neutral. And we're looking for the pins away on the left hand side. See you next time, brother. Au revoir, monsieur. All right, so our flight controls are checked. Arm the spoilers. Authentic sounds of the slats and flaps of the A350. That is set. And we can do, and let's run the after start checklist. Anti-ice not required. Ecam system is normal. Pitch and everything else is fine. So starts is complete. And we can now push the takeoff config. You're supposed to press and hold it 3 seconds, I think. All right, good. So we are ready to taxi. So let's get up the taxi chart, airport chart. So we have this here, and we also have this on our thing. So we can actually use the chart up for the departure. So we'll have that available, and then we'll use our onboard display. All right, cool. So we do taxi light is on, nose light is on, and let's release the brakes. And because we're so light, we should start moving. Yes, sir. And let's do a quick brake check. Check, 0. So let's go. Cruise traffic, Iberia 9735, taxi running 14 right for departure. Cruise traffic. One beautiful bird. So this pedal disconnect, guys, if for whatever reason I just needed to get away and I didn't do the flight control checks, I could actually do that right now with very little movement where that is concerned for the aircraft. It returns to the center. So supposed to lock the rudder so that it does not do any movement. Look at the detail of this thing. Nice. All right, coming up to this right turn. Slow the airplane down. We're already at 20 knots. We need to do a nice long haul flight of this so that we could see what happens once the aircraft is fully loaded, to see how the physics works where we taxi. You should still be able to taxi with the amount of thrust that we get with the aircraft. However, a heavier aircraft will require probably some breakaway thrust, so we'll see what happens. Then start the timer on the right side. I'm wondering if I should try frame gen. I don't know. I don't use it because I am on AMD, but I'm gonna test it one of these days and see if it works and see if we get anything better in terms of smoothness. I mean, it's pretty smooth where I am right now, but of course, depending on the airport, that's gonna chop itself a little bit. But for right now, we're pretty good. Initial climb is 7,000. Let's set that 7,000 here. And so we have climb and nav already in blue, and we have our brakes RTO. So FMA is set. So we make the next right, and we will taxi into position and wait. To lose traffic, Iberia 9735, enter and hold runway, line up and wait, runway 14 right, to lose traffic. Runaway airplane, 20 knots already. Let's make this right turn. And we're gonna go strobes to on. And we can get rid of this map now. And we line up runway 14. And we'll run the before takeoff checklist. It'll be smooth with the frame gen, but I'm on AMD, so I don't know if, because AMD has its own kind of frame gen in a sense. So I'll check it and see at some point if it will make a difference. All right, let's line up. Here we go. Let's see how perfect that was. Oh. Gotta get some practice in that, right? All right, let's hold here. Let's run this checklist. Before takeoff checklist, flight controls have been checked, flight instruments are set and checked. Briefing completed. V1 is 144, 148, and 152. Squawk is not set. Let's do that right now. Go to serve, and our, oh, wrong thing. Serve is what we're looking for, right? And let's do our squawk code as 25. Let's do our squawk code as 0350 since we're at A350. And we'll enter that, and we'll change that to auto, TARA, and that is set. Go back to our perf page, and our takeoff runway is runway 14 right. Cabin crew is advised and packs are on, and so our before takeoff checks is complete. All right, guys, let's pause the music and let's get the aircraft going. Set up. We have our wing light and our landing lights. Taxi takeoff light's gonna come on as well. I really hope that they will fix these lights because they're way too bright during the daytime. They don't have this reflection during the day at all, so I'm hoping that they could fix that. Because look at you can hardly see the strobe light. So if that's the case there, then it should be the very same thing for the other lights. Nevertheless, let's get going. All right. So we are ready to go. Start the timer. %, and Manflex SRS runway outer thrust is blue. Keep the center line. Pressure on the stick until 80 knots. Slowly release to 100 knots. Okay.
V1.
And rotate. Positive rate. Gear coming up. Gear coming up. So why aren't my gears coming up? There we go. And we are off. And climb, G-rated thrust climb. And we're gonna hand fly this baby up. Smooth, smooth, smooth. And we can go flaps up. Getting some nice wing flex out here. Flaps coming up. Airbuses are so much easier to fly than blowing because you really don't have to worry about the trimming. It's auto trimming, and you just really just follow the flight directors and you're good to go. So we're at 240 knots already, and so we just want to follow the flight directors as they let us know where to go. And I am gonna go flight plan and direct to God. So let's go from present position direct, and we'll enter that, and then we're gonna make that right turn. Transition level standard set, and we continue our climb to flight level 310. Open climb is checked. Lower the nose a bit. We just following the flight directives right now. So there we go, we're at 250, and so we're just gonna do our very best to fly with the flight directors until we get to 10,000 feet, and then we engage the autopilot. Smooth rotation, and there we have it. The A350 is a little bit heavy on the controls, so it doesn't respond near as fast as the baby buses. So you can actually feel that. And so you just have to make small corrections. You don't want to overcorrect. That's 10,000 feet. So we're going to do autopilot 1, and we will take out the external light. And then we run the after takeoff checklist. After takeoff checklist, bar to the line is checked, and a bar reference is now standard, and that's set. Checklist is complete. And there we go, guys. We are now airborne in the A350, delivering the Iberia A350 to Madrid. leaving from Toulouse, France. Au revoir, Toulouse. Let's see if I can get a nice picture of the airplane, but that reflection, boy, I think that might be good. And there we go. Picture taken. All right, let's get some music back on as we fly over to Madrid. If you're just joining for the first time, welcome to the Iberia268 channel. We are happy that you are here with us today. If you haven't already done so, click the subscribe button. And once you click subscribe, also click the notification bell so you don't miss the next time that we go live. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you, appreciate you. Feel free to say hello as well as we journey on this flight. We are taking the iniBuilds A350 out from Toulouse, France over to Madrid, delivering this A350 Iberia aircraft to its home base. Final cruise altitude is going to be flight level 310. One of the things that you do when you're on the aircraft is that you go through all of these pages just to make sure that nothing is going outside of what it should be. So we can look at the electronic, make sure that we have all of the correct voltages. I don't quite remember what these voltages are, but once they're in the green, they should be good. Pretty much, I think from what I remember them saying, even on flight, what is that, the videos, oh my goodness, I can't remember the name of the group now that normally does these shows. Why can't I remember that? Anyways, it's some videos that shows you different takeoff landings and so on in the cockpit and so on. I can't remember, I don't know why I can't remember that. Nevertheless, we will see these here, so that should be fine. Let's look at the DC lights. Okay, those look good. Hydraulic, 5,000 psi, those also look good. Light controls are good for the time. APU is off. Bleed air, I suppose they're within the range that they should be. Condition, air condition, so 21 in the cockpit, 20 in the passenger, and then we see those down there in the bulk and the cargo holes. Look at the pressure. Cabin pressure looks good, so that's all good. Look at the engine. Engine is fine. We have fuel flow 5150 in the left engine and 5140 in the right engine. Vibration looks fine. All equal, so that's good. I mean, it should be because it's a brand new airplane, so it should be good. All right. Our doors are closed and armed. In the wheel well, everything looks good. Active brake pressure is where it's supposed to be, 3.5, and our fuel flow is 11,000 pounds per hour. Our fuel usage right now is 1100. Cool. So that's cool. So all these things are monitored so that we ensure that there aren't any issues with our flight. I may not get to learn the aircraft near as much as some other persons because the A350 is not going to be my permanent aircraft, and I've been saying it on the channel and I'll continue to say it. Once the 757 come out, that's what I'm going to be focused on. So I'll learn that aircraft inside and out. So we make sure that we have that. All right, so we can actually remove these pinned for the Toulouse airport, since we're now going to just be focusing on Madrid. So our arrival is the Adoxo 2 Delta, and we're coming in from Adoxo, so we're going to cross Adoxo below flight level 210. Mike Delta 001 above 150, then Sergo between 10,000 and 140, then to Rugby above 8,000, and then from Rugby we will follow the depicted chart to be leveled at Yahoo by 5,000 and join the localizer for runway 3 to right. I am still trying to find out how I did this in the... I don't understand why I cannot remember how I did it. So you guys know, for those of you who are here that fly the baby buses, you know, the baby buses you can actually put rings. It's just simply based on fix, but you can do it from the FMC, and I just cannot remember. I did it one time. I don't remember where I went to do it, so I'm not seeing it here. Trying to remember where I would have done it. It's not in the secondary index data. I see waypoint here, but I'm trying to, for example, so the ILS is Mike Bravo Bravo. So if I put Mike Bravo Bravo here, it's going to tell me Mike Bravo Bravo. It's going to tell me that this is the... Oh, it doesn't exist? That's crazy. Mike Bravo Bravo. That's interesting. Navigate route. Let's see. Okay, so that's restored route. Status. Okay, so that's not it. That's weird. It should just be from going there and then you have the fixes. Hold airways, enable alternate, new destination constraints, top altitudes and wind. Huh. I just can't understand. All right, so we have this. So the landing system is already set with that. So we have 109.1, course is 332, and the slope is that. So we have that set. But if I want to add, okay. Time. Okay. I'll figure it out at some point. I just can't remember right now. It's really different in the A350. I could simply just do this. I'll see the word fix and it then tells me what's the next one I have to do, but I don't understand why I can't get it. That's weird. Anyways, it is what it is. So time check is now 57. The landing time should be 41. So let's see. We're coming up to flight level 310. And we are at 7.58. But what is our cruise? So let's go to our perf. And our cruise is Mach 0.80. I wonder if we can change that. Should be 0.85. So we're gonna demand 0.80. Let's see if we can change that to 0.85. Or do we have to change the cost index? All right, so top of the sun is at 134 miles. So all right, I guess we can allow that to run. The majestic A350. If you are liking the content, guys, please feel to leave a like, leave a comment as well. Appreciate all love we can get. Appreciate the support. Get the Duxo 2. Give me just a moment, guys. Gonna step back to the loop. So I will be right back. Yo, 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 what's going on, George? Welcome to the stream, man. Where you guys been hiding? All right, so we have, let's see, we need to check our destination data now. Yeah, let's see how far we are. Perf 68. All right, good. So we got to do this real fast. All right, so let's go to our perf and we go to the approach. Actually, let's do it on this side, and then we're gonna do the ADC comms. So let's update the weather in Madrid. And so we have calm winds. So let's put in the calm winds. That's 0, 0, 0. Enter 0, 0. And then we have the temperature is 9 degrees. And the QNH is 1015. And the barrel reference is, let's check that. Let's see, it is 2105. So 2105, and we click enter, and that is, it's out of range. Okay, so let's change that. So it is 219, and we click enter, and so that is set. The winds are calm, so we can just add 5 to that. So that's 128 plus 5, so that's 133, and enter. Clear that out of range, and let's, good. So we're good to go. So for our descent, we are just about 54 nautical miles from our top of descent. So let's set the altimeter to, oh, okay. Let's see if that stays 1015. That's what it is there. Let's see if that stays in there. Okay, it does. All right, cool. So signal signs are in auto. So that is that. All right, so let's look at our flight plan to make sure that we have everything set up we're supposed to. We're to cross Ruby at 81, above 81. Let's see if we could put a hard altitude in there. So let's do 8,000 at Ruby or Rugby. Let's make sure that that is 8,000. Put it at 8,000, and we will return. So we have that hard altitude at 8,000. Wait. Okay, so if we put at, we don't want it to be deleted. So delete that and put at 8. So we have to actually add it. Okay, cool. So 8,000, and we click enter and add it to the temporary flight plan and insert it. There we go. So now we have 8,000 at Rugby. Great. So we start our descent in 40 nautical miles. So we're almost there. the other thing that we have to set up now is the brake to vacate. So let's get that set up. While the airport is loading. There we go. So landing performance, sync, 3 to right. Length is, I think this is in meters. Yep. All right, so sync, winds calm, everything looks good here. Braking is gonna be medium. Lens technique is going to be manual. Reverse is yes. So let's compute that. Let me check what manual says. So manual is short, so let's do medium. All right, cool. So then let's look at our brake to vacate. So we are going to select runway . Or is it in arc? Okay. There we go. Nope, it's supposed to be in plan. LEMD, there we go, display airport. And let's select that. At landing runway. And we want to brake. Come on, what's happening? All right. So let's go ahead and brake at kilo 4. So we do kilo 4 as the so that's our brake to vacate exit. So that's good, that's set. We have our blue line there, so that would then be set, so we're good to go. And of course we will set the action is going to be dry, leave for 3 seconds, then we can clear that, and then we can arm it. BTV is in the blue, so we're good to go. All right, so now let's go ahead and get our descent going, because we should be at the top of descent now. 10 nautical miles, so we begin on top of descent by doing a managed descent. There we go. So our brake to vacate is already set up, and we're gonna exit via kilo 4 because our gate, so one thing I did not do with LEMD, and it is the, if it is 10-9, it should be right next to it. So airport hotspots, the taxi routings, and parking center terminal for Sierra. So there we go. So this is where we want to go. We want to go to taxiway for Sierra, so we're on the right hand side by 32 right. So we're going to exit on kilo 4. Do I have 24? No, I don't. I still have 2020. I'm not going to go to 2024 just yet. We're going to park somewhere over here, so we will take, let's see. Let's look at the airport chart real quick. Cool. So we will land and exit via kilo 4, and then we will take, what taxiway is this? We will take Alpha 27 and come across, and then we'll park somewhere on this side. So we just make it Kilo 4, Kilo Bravo 2, Kilo Bravo 1, make a left here on Alpha, we'll take Alpha around, and we'll park somewhere on these stands over here. So in that regard, we could go to stand probably 510, 515, somewhere around here. But we definitely get it on the ground and see which gate is the heavy gate so we can get there. All right, descending through flight level 290 now for flight level 15. Let's do that as our initial. And we're to cross a duct so below flight level 210, and then we should cross this next waypoint, Mike Delta 001 above flight level 150. So we'll set 150 in the window for now as we begin our descent. Yeah, Carib Fly, we're not going to do 2024 anytime soon, probably close to the summer. And the reason why I'm saying close to the summer is because it's possible that, so based on what PMDG would have said, PMDG is saying that their 777-200 and possibly 300 will be ready within the next month or so. No, they didn't say within the next month. I'm saying that. But they're working simultaneously on the 2024 version for the 200 ER. And so they'll release both of them for 2020 and 2024. 350 looks so simple yet so complex. Yeah, boy, Matthew, it's crazy. There's certain things that I still haven't learned as yet, and I'm determined to actually get to understand this thing in that. Let me bounce back to Carib Fly. So what's happening with the 2024 version for us? Well, for me here on this channel, even though it's good to adopt to it, I am not really interested in dealing with all those bugs, because essentially what I'm going to be doing is reverting to 2020 anyways. So when more developers would have gotten their products on 2024, it will make it easier for us to do the switch. Well, for me to do the switch. The 757 is my aircraft that I'm waiting patiently on, and they're releasing it for 2020 rather, initially, and then going over to 2024. So I don't see the rush if I'm going to be doing most of my flights on the 757 once that comes out. All right, so we're on the map right now, coming across on there, and the MSA for this is 10,000 coming in towards the airport. So we just make sure that we maintain and follow the charts as we come in. But yeah, so the A350 is based on 2024. That's where it was built initially. So it really does its shine, or really has its shine in the 2024 environment. But there's still so many things to be done, and like any new platform, it's gonna take a little while, and nothing's gonna be perfect. And so with the release of 2024 back in November, there's certain things that they said would have happened in terms of being able to, you know, make things compatible to the 2024 version, but it turned out that it's not entirely so. As a result of that, we just have to wait. I can remember my own experience coming from P3D over to 2020. I was only flying the 737 for a very long time. So while 2024 looks beautiful, I'll just hold off for a little while longer with 2020 and then port over to 2024 in the coming month. But for right now, we're on 2020, baby. Transition is 5,000, so that's already set. And so we're coming down nicely. Once we cross this waypoint, we're going to be slowing down just a little bit. There we go, down to 20. And then we're going to set now to 8,000, which is our altitude across Rugby. Right, we are now at 220 knots. Continue our descent down to 8,000, crossing over Sirgu, direct to Rugby. So we have 34 miles to go until Rugby. And so we'll continue our descent. Keeping it below 250, below 10,000, that would be beautiful. So we will just continue to meet that crossing restriction of 8,000. And we will arm the landing system. So you have 10910, so that's set there. The ILS is already set. Like I said, when it comes to flying the A350, the difference you feel, it literally feels heavy in your hand. So it really gives you that change in terms of, if you're a customer flying the A320s, you are literally gonna feel a difference. I'm thinking about a nice flight out of Madrid for the A350s, probably to go down to Colombia, or to Bogota. A nice 14-hour flight. All right, let's update the weather, make sure that we have the correct information. Winds are still calm and the QNH is still 1015, so that is beautiful. Madrid traffic, good morning. Iberia 9735 descending through flight level 115 for flight level 80 at Rugby, then via the ILS Zulu runway 32 right. We'll call establish on the localizer. Madrid traffic. Descending through 10,800. So the maps, for somebody who may be asking, the maps here, I don't have any issues. They did say that you don't get any issues in terms of the maps when they show up. They load and I can move it like this. We don't have any issue with the frames. It doesn't affect my frames at all. But when it comes to getting the map on the navigational display, that takes a little while before it comes up. So I'm not sure if they can do something different where that is concerned. But anyway, it is. George, what you doing, man? Where you at? What you doing? What you doing? What you doing? All right, so we are just at the end of the transition gate for the star, so we can go now and switch to the arrival. And here we are coming into Rugby at 8,000, so we can go ahead and descend down to 5,000. And I'm going to now do speed intervene, and we're going to go to 210. Below 10,000 feet, landing lights coming on and the wind lights coming on. Did the return from Colombia to Miami. Ha, look at that. So I just talked about Colombia and there you're doing that. You did that return. Nice. I need to get back into the baby buses though. 26 nautical miles out, so we are getting there. All right, so continue our descent, crossing Rugby at 8,000, then we continue our descent down to 5,000. I haven't flown the max in a while either, so that's probably another flight we could do. But I guess too, because I've been doing these celebrations for the Delta flights, we've just been in the 737-800 for a little while. Oh, earlier today, fantastic. How was the landing in Miami? Got over Rugby, so we're good to go now. Madrid traffic to Iberia 9735. Over Rugby, continue to descend on 5,000, join the localizer runway 32 right, Madrid. So we maintain 210. We are just below the glide slope, so we are good with that. Let's slow to 200. We're 21 miles out, so let's slow to 200. And the aircraft is going to do its best to maintain these crossing restrictions of above 7,000, above 6,000. So we'll do a gradual step down. Coming through some clouds here in the Madrid airspace. We're going to pretend that we have the air traffic control letting us know that we are clear to land this beautiful bird into Madrid. And then we're also going to pretend that there is a water cannister waiting for us, bringing this new bird home to Madrid. I wonder if I can share my announcement in Spanish. Damas y caballeros, bienvenida a Madrid. El avión A350, el primer avión de Iberia. Y tenemos que bienvenida y dar gracias para Airbus o por Airbus para entregar este avión a Madrid. Fue un placer para volar a Madrid contigo hoy. Hasta la próxima vez. Gracias de volar a Iberia. And then we say flight attendants prepare for arrival. All right, so we're at 200. Let's get these flaps out. So let's hear these beautiful sounds. Flaps 1. And we see the wind is really, they really made these things really nice in terms of, look at the shakes. That's real. All right, so let's arm the landing system. So we'll arm the localizer. And we bring our speed back now to 180 since we are 14 miles out. Let's pause the music. All right, so localizer is captured. And let's arm the approach. And we'll maintain 5,000 till our final for the runway. For laps 2, speed check. Madrid traffic, the Iberia 9735 on the localizer runway 32 right. We'll maintain 5,000 till the fully established on the ILS. We'll call final. Lay butter, no pressure. Haha. Let's see how that's gonna go, brother. Let's see, what's the missed approach altitude here? The missed approach altitude is up to 6,000. So do not climb above 6,000. Good. So once we, okay, so we are at our standard. So we're standard set. And there we go.
2,500.
Check. Madrid traffic, Iberia 9735, established on the ILS runway 32 right. 9 miles final. Gear down. And I didn't even run the checklist. Why nobody reminded? Approach checklist. Briefing complete. Minimum is set. Power reference is set.
2,500.
And let's get the nose lights on. And let's get our final approach speed set. And flaps 3. Flaps 4. And let's arm the speed brakes. And let's do our landing checklist. Cabin crew is advised. Auto throttle is on speed. Auto brake is set BTV. Running condition is set. And the checklist is complete. All right, we got 5 miles to go. Let's look outside real quick. Airplane looks good on final. Take a nice little picture. Let's get it from the back. That sounds so wrong. And let's start dolly real quick so we can have the recorder. So let's click record. And there is the final right here. All right. One says lay butter, no pressure. Whew. Crack the net real quick. Let's get going.
1,000.
Check. All right, my airplane. Slightly below the glide slope, so we pull that back up, correcting that. And slightly off from the localizer, but that's all right. So we maintain this. Check. Back on the glide slope, good. 2 whites, 2 reds.
400.
Check.
$300.
Check.
$200. $100. $50.
Over the numbers is 50.
30. 20. 10.
Speed brakes up. 2 in reverse. Reverse screen. And aircraft is slowing down a BTV, so we're gonna roll all the way out as we go all the way to kilo 4, 80 knots. First lights out. And there we go. BTV works like a charm. Manual braking. And we are on the ground. That was minus 320. Oh. And we are clear. Major traffic, Iberia 9735 made its first touchdown at Madrid. Welcome the bird home to its new home base. All right, flaps coming up. And we're gonna continue our taxi. See, and that's the other thing. So I'm coming in, I'm thinking that I'm doing an excellent job, and landing, gonna get minus 20, you know, 320 something. That's interesting. All right, so we make a left here. We can stop the timer. All right, so like we said, we're gonna go to stand 5 something. So let's see where we can go. 522. Gate 5. Let's see. A lot of gates at this airport, right? All right, there we go. So 522 is where we're gonna go. And it's Iberia. So we're gonna watch that replay, guys, once we get to the gate and get the aircraft shut down, just because we got the A cars running. So we're gonna make sure we get that to the gate. Then we'll just switch over to right now to push and landing. Appreciate you, Gerard. Appreciate it, bro. So once we get to the gate, we're then gonna do a replay so we get to see what that landing looks like. Bringing the A350 home to its new base. Madrid, España. Start the APU. Get that up and going. And we can turn off the taxi lights. We'll hang a right and then we'll taxi up towards the gate, which is on the other side of this tower. And then we'll be done for tonight. We're gonna go direct to Alpha 22, which is this taxiway here, because we can't go beyond that. It seems like the A350 does something similar to the A380. When you do turns, they actually slow down or lose momentum. So you'd have to use a little bit of power to get them going again. But again, because the aircraft is pretty light, we don't have that problem with the aircraft doing that. Selected on chem is hype. Yes, sir. It's hype, hype, hype. I'm also a bit confused about something, guys. Anybody knows how is it that sometimes when I go into the drone camera I can move the controls, but other times I'm not able to do that? That's just weird. APU is available and we can have the bleed on. All right, so gate 522 is at Romeo, let's see, Romeo 23. Okay, so we gotta take this. Ooh, gotta make this right and then take our gate up here. Echo Alpha 5. And then our gate is 522 is somewhere up here.
But the traffic, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I have you 5x5, sir.
Thanks, sir.
Neither, King. Okay, so we slow down now and then we're gonna make our right turn. This is our gate 522, since we see our cargo rams here, or cargo loaders rather, and then we make a right turn. So let's turn off the lights and then we're gonna go a little bit ahead, then begin the turn. come to a stop. And there we go. Hopefully this is long enough to get to the gate, because it may not, but let's see what happens. Let's see. He said to come forward a bit more. I'm going to, just because I'm not sure that the aircraft is going to get the stuff for the door. Because it's supposed to go to door 2. All right, so we're going to park the gate here, and we're going to parking brake set, and the start switches are fuel flow switches are off, and we can turn off the seatbelt sign to release the passengers. All right, great. So let me end my flight on my A cars. That's weird. It says that, okay, so George, what you said my landing rate was? Because the A cars is saying that I landed with -151, which is fantastic. Right? So that's cool. So let's end that. And then let's stop the recording. And then let's now do, so we're gonna go offline from VATSIM, so that's done. And then let's get a recording going back. Let's come all the way back from up here. So pause it real quick so it can reconfigure itself. So we're giving it just a little bit to reconfigure itself. The rad is out because the aircraft engines are not on. So we're gonna store the rad, allow it to reconfigure itself. Let's see, ground, let's do, where we at? Where is it? Is it options? Maintenance, there we go. So let me see, store the rat. All right, so let's now check the approach. Let's press play. Let's store the rat. There we go. So this is the approach, guys. Let's rewatch what that looks like. And we do it from two places. We're gonna go outside. Let's see. There we go. That looks good. Flare looking good. Flare looking pretty good. And touchdown. Yeah. So that was pretty nice. -150. Yeah. So let's see if we can get another shot. So we're gonna hold that for a second. So pause that. We're gonna stop the camera from running here. So we're gonna do it from right here, and we're gonna get that back. There we go. Looking nice. All right, so let's get that replay going. And again, I love the whole idea of the aircraft, the runway being undulated, so you see it's not as flat, which is what you would find in the real world. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Nice flare. Ah, missing it. Touchdown. There we go. So we go one more time from the inside now. Let's run that back and do it from the more passenger point of view. Easy does it, easy does it. For whatever reason, the reverse thrust does not happen when we do the, what you call it? The I hope my flight actually ended. That'd be great. Yeah, so the reverse thrust doesn't actually work when we do the replays, but guys, I think that was an excellent flight. And I really want to say thank you for all of you who would have joined in on this particular flight today. It was a pleasure bringing home this aircraft for Iberia. And I hope that the next time we do a delivery flight, probably going to be for the British Airways, carrying the 1000. So we'll do the 1000 on the next flight. So stay tuned for that one. We probably might do it tomorrow. We might do it tomorrow. So we'll see what happens with that. And so I want to say thank you once again, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you for being patient for the first hour. We had some technical difficulties, and so I want to say really thank you for those of you who stuck around until we got back online. Until the very next time, guys, please take care of yourselves. Make sure that you take care of your mental health. If you haven't already done so, please like and subscribe. If you have subscribed already, make sure that you hit the notification bell so that you don't miss the next time that we go live. And also, if you will, please join the Discord channel. That way you can share information such as different airports that you would like to see us to go to. We've done that before, so feel free to let us know if you're hailing from a particular area. Feel free to let us know as well, so we can bring your home airport to the simulator. Guys, it was fun, and I hope that you had the rest of a great night. Until next time, see ya.